Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. A little bit festive today, and we've got a little bit of a nativity scene going on. Yeah, Christmas tree needs a little bit more work, but oh well. And that's not my actual Christmas tree, there's a big one over there. Not that it really matters. Big Christmas trees are just a pain in the arse anyway. But Christmas has come early. That's essentially the theme to this video, because we've got some other half action. Oh yes. And this was kind of given to me by my good friend Harry from Bluenose Beer Reviews when me and Dean stayed up at his place for the Marlborough Piss Up. Drank some absolutely ridiculous beers while we were there, and he gave me this one because I think it is doesn't have any sort of canning on dates or anything like that, but I don't think it's the freshest. But the great thing about cans is hops don't seem to fade that much. And this is a can of their triple Mylar Daydream, which is an Imperial Oak Cream IPA, clocking in at 11.3% ABV in a 1 pint/16 fluid ounce can, with absolutely fantastic and iconic artwork, as you would expect. So I do love a good triple IPA. I think that's what I love. New England triple IPAs are just... You want that thick, creamy, gooey body, get a triple New England IPA. I like triple IPAs in general. The West Coast ones, they can get quite sickly, I've found, and I feel the effects more. I think it's because like the really abrasive, like resiny, piney hops. Just, I don't know, I always feel a bit worse for wear compared to like a really hazy triple IPA. But yeah, I like triple IPAs, and I've had some fantastic ones this year, so hopefully this will be another one. So using my 2-old glass for this, not used it for a while. Oh, and the first pour, a little bit goes on my leg, so beer's already being wasted. But yeah, Harry, if you're watching this, massive thank you. I can smell from here. I have enjoyed pretty much every beer that other half have had their hand in. Their favourite for me so far this year that I've had in terms of collaborations, I don't think I've actually had anything from them on their own. I've had, thanks to Harry, I got to get some Trillium. No, was it Treehouse? The one who did Spring. God, I'm all over the place. But yeah, the collabs that I've had other half involved have just been absolutely mega. I think the one for me though, well, you never know, this could be the one that takes its place, has to be that double IPA they did with North. Just absolutely fantastic, and my hair is very annoying right now. Anyway, nobody gives a shit, Peter, but look at that beer. Murky, it's almost dirty looking, peach compote, pineapple puree, mango, beautiful density to it, nice creamy head, just shy of one finger. It actually died down quite quickly. Couldn't think of the word then. Oh, it looks good, so let's give it a sniff. Big stone fruit character on this, like voluptuous sort of stone fruits. Then you get a little bit of citrus. There's a little bit of a piney, resiny vibe coming off from the hop oils. Big grapefruit character. Lovely pineapple, melon. A little bit of spiciness coming through. It's got a hint of blueberry as well. That alcohol, that ABV is just masked. It really, really is. Obviously, I think it should be a little bit more vibrant. That's in the back of my head. I'm not going to use that as a for or against the beer. But yeah, it doesn't smell stale or anything like that. Still big, juicy and dank. Very dank on the nose. Smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys, and cheers, Harry. And also cheers to Dean as well. As I was saying before, if you want that body that you dream of, get off your arse and exercise, which I should clearly do when it comes to IPAs. triple IPAs in the New England style. It's literally like milk. There's like innocent smoothie creaminess about it as well. Oh, it's just smooth as silk. Little carbonation there, just enough so it's not flat, and just enough so it, you know, gets around your palate. I can't formulate proper sentences. Of course, phone rings as I'm in the middle of a review. Not answering it though. Where's that 11%? Where the heck is that 11.3% ABV? Not getting any detection. There's the slightest of warmth going down as you're drinking it. But yeah, like it's like oat milk. You could definitely tell that they've used a lot of oats in this. And they've used them well. You'll sometimes read on a description of beer, we've like rammed it full of oats to give it a big bold body. You drink it, it's like, what, you put like one of those instant, you know, Quakers like instant oats in there, just like a tiny little tea bag worth. The oats like add a bit of like a sweetness to it as well. What I like about this as well is you can still taste all those hops. It's a lot sweeter, it's creamier. Just look at that for a beer. That body's just to die for. That to me is the most satisfying thing about this beer. Not that there's anything lacking in it. If this is an old triple IPA, not really detecting it. Still got bags full of hops, bags full of juicy flavour. Mango, peach, those sorts of stone fruits. Then you've got, again, a little bit of blueberry in there to soften it. There's maybe a tiny little bit of a tart passion fruit character. Bags full of melon and pineapple. Then there's this oily resininess that comes up on the back end. It's not really too bitter either. There is a bitterness, so it's not too sickly sweet on the back end, but this is just ridiculously good. Absolutely fantastic. And I can't believe Harry just gave it to me. Because he could have easily sold this for like 10, 15 quid, if not more, to people who would happily buy it. I'm so blessed to know the people who I know from this. Some of the most generous and down-to-earth people I've ever met. And people who I will hopefully have in my life until the day I die, whether that be tomorrow or in 40, 50, 60 years. Because there's no way I'm outliving too many people who I know, let's be honest, especially with my diet. But yeah, Christmas definitely has come early. Being a Christmas trees, there is a bit of a piney stickiness there. I think it comes with the territory of having to hop this much when it comes to a triple IPA. And this is one of the reasons why I love them, just because of how bold they are, especially American triple IPAs. I had one early this year, or I think it was late last year, from Barrier, and that was just luxurious. I think the closest that we have here in the UK to pulling a beer off like this would probably be, well, easy go-to, Cloudwater. I think they've rarely, especially Paul and the amount of research and development he's done over his over the existence of Cloudwater. Watched a really good interview with Paul on the Brewdog's channel. They've uploaded quite a few videos, I think, because of that Brewdog network. I think they're bringing it to YouTube. So there was an interview with Paul. Don't know how old the interview was. Probably that's why it's up on YouTube now for free. And he's probably one of my favourite people in the brewing industry. I've never actually met him properly. Before I knew who he was or had an inkling of who he was, he did actually recommend me a beer, just out of nowhere while I was in Port Street one day. And I was like, oh, thanks, mate. And it was a really good beer. I can't remember what it was. And then I sat down and thinking, where have I seen him before? And then on our little Facebook messenger group with the usual suspects like Rob, Harry, and Dean and all that. It's like, I think you've just been given a drink, been recommended a drink by Paul, and that meant a lot to me. And just looking at his feed on Instagram and hearing his thoughts on different beers and brewing and breweries and the whole world and industry, I just think he's one of the few who isn't overly idealistic, doesn't really have too much of an agenda. He just is a man who is surrounded by people in his brewery like him who are on, a journey of trying to brew the best beers they possibly can, no matter what the style, because Cloudwater are brewing some of the best lagers in the UK. I know I'm having a bit of chubs right now for Cloudwater as I'm drinking other half, but yeah, back to my point. I think Cloudwater would be the closest who can pull a beer like this off. Second to that, I'd actually say Wander Beyond. Although, if you take all the fruit additions that they put in their beers, I mean, Octopod last year, just as dense, creamy, and thick as this is. But of course, they added all sorts of purees and fruits to it. I believe this is just a very oaty triple IPA. And I think that's the one thing that is really stopping us from being like the top dog when it comes to these beers, is the Americans know how to nail that mouthfeel. They do it pretty much with every beer like this that I get my hands on. The one thing, yeah, sometimes the hops might not be as in your face. Sometimes, you might not get those chocolatey flavours from an Imperial Stout that they promise. But the mouthfeels are always spot on. And that's probably, for me, the most satisfying thing about this beer. Oh, lovely, lovely stuff. Not overly hoppy either. Sounds outrageous to say it. But sometimes when you put so many hops in, it just becomes a little bit of a mess and you're not really picking out. I wouldn't be able to say what hops they've used in this. I'm guessing something like maybe Amarillo, maybe a bit of Citra, maybe a bit of Simcoe for that dankness. I've not looked up this beer at all. But yeah. Harry, I would have happily paid you for this beer. Do you know what? And when you get more of a half, if you do get any more, I'm definitely picking up a few cans, because just every beer that these guys have been involved with, I've just absolutely loved. And to actually try one of their beers, it's just why I love doing this. This is one of those occasions where I can't pick out any points to this beer in terms of like minus points. That sentence didn't make sense. But yeah, there's not one off-beat character about this beer, and there's nothing that I can really criticise it for. I love these triple IPAs, and that's why. Fantastic, fantastic beer. So if you've tried it, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Especially you American guys who can get this on your doorstep. What's some of your favourite other half beers? Are there any other? Because I'd imagine there's different variations of this. The fact that it's triple Mylar Daydream, I don't know. It just screams like there's probably a different version of this. Because I've noticed that with a few of them, like rotational hops, maybe a different yeast strain, or taking one recipe and then building on it to make it like a double IPA, triple IPA, or reducing it down to like a pale ale or an IPL, that sort of thing. But yeah, this is beautiful. It's the mouthfeel. It's mastery of getting a good mouthfeel. You could take those clips way out of context. You really, really could. So, yeah. 10 out of 10 beer for me. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. Seriously, if you get your hands on it, you're going to enjoy it. I know there's a little bit of a discussion now if triple IPAs are really that necessary, to the point where the likes of Wonder Beyond are now going into the like 275ml cans or something like that. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of beer. Let's be honest, it is a lot of beer at that ABV. But it just means more beer I can drink and enjoy, especially if it tastes like this. Anyway, I'm going to get off Other Half stick, because I could just go on and on for absolutely ages. Yeah, I need to get my hands on more of their beers, and not just their IPAs. I know they've released their collab with Northern Monk, which was I'd imagine it's like an iteration of the Death Imperial Stouts that Northern Monk do. Whether we get some of those here in the UK is another question completely, or if what Northern Monk has is just basically for everyone in the brewery, which is fair enough. You brewed it for the American market, I suppose. But yeah, I'm always excited when I see Other Half included on a beer, because I know it's going to be a damn good one. And then to actually have one of their beers... Oh, that mouthfeel. I cannot... Got to stop. Got to end this video now because I've gone on for way too long. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Go check out Other Half if you've heard of them before. And yeah, Harry, thank you so fucking much for this, man. Like, really, thank you so much. What a gift. Anyway, I'm going to go off now. I need to get a thumbnail, and I'm going to look up this beer now, just see how on point I was with that hot build. Probably completely off the mark, but hey, I'm the clueless drinker. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants me to produce glasses, would you be interested in a Clueless Drinker branded glass, or merchandise in general? Hit me up in the comments. Probably do it anyway. Thank you for watching. Not got my pants on. Who cares? It's nearly Christmas. And I've got pretty much another week off, it would seem. So, happy, happy days and happy, happy drinking. Anyway, thank you guys. Go check out Other Half. And of course, go check out Harry from Bluenose Beer Reviews as well. See you guys later, and you all take care. Cheers.